Have you got a passion project that lights you up but needs some more insider tips to take it to the next level? Bootstrap Banter is your new go to podcast. We are all about real talks and no fluff. Just actionable advice and inspiring stories from people like you who turn their passion into a thriving projects and then to startups. Whether you're just starting out or already on your way, we have got the strategies to help you push you through the roadblocks. In this series, you will hear real world strategies to grow without burning out or breaking the bank. Honest, no nonsense advices to help you level up your passion project. Whether it's marketing, scaling, or just finding the right directions, we are here to help you thrive. Book your strategy session today. Go to passionatepulse.com and contact, or just buzz us on WhatsApp or text us on 341 209 0102. That's passionatepulse.com, one stop shop for your bootstrap banter. Hello, namaskar. Welcome to the Passionate Pulse podcast Bootstrap Banter series. In the Bootstrap Banter series, we discusses all the fundas that I'm taking and implementing in my own passion project. And those are the same fundas I'm sharing it with all of you passionpreneurs. So today, let's deep dive into how you can launch fast, fail smart, and taking the advantage of the latest technology, AI, no code, low code advantages for your own passion project. Well, first of all, let's understand, why are we supposed to take a tech route if your business or if your passion project is not into the tech segment? Well, let me brief you. No matter which project that you are building on, in today's world, we have to be a digital smart first. If you're failing at digitally, then more likely or so, you're not building your customer base, you're not even building your product packaging well. So having a digital presence is must. Consider you're someone who is selling some handcrafted things, or maybe you're someone who is creating some handmade oils or some exotic soaps, or maybe a simple candles that you're looking forward to sell, which are built using very natural, user friendly, eco friendly type of the products. And in that case, why are you supposed to have any of the tech platforms where you should be hosting it? Well, that's not the case. You are absolutely aware about it. You are someone who need to have a digital front door that talks about what you do, that showcases all about your products, your reviews, and everything. And on top of it, you like to streamline it more ways, so that you might want to add some email newsletters to your subscribers. On top of it, you might want to create your own app through which you can get product orders coming in quickly. And on top of it, you could advertise more because you are owning some digital infrastructure. So no matter which business, whether it's a tech or a non-tech, going with certain apps, going with certain digital front doors are very essential. So today we will be deep diving into no code, low code fundamentals and what you could really do. What are some of the resources that you can use to build your websites, to build your mobile apps, or even to build something which is solving certain business case which is very near and dear to you, or the type of a field you are working in. What you could do next to scale your business, to scale smartly, and that's what we are planning to discuss today. After listening to this particular episode, what are some of the important ideas that you have noted down for your own passion project to scale up? Or if you have small scale business, what are the next ideas that you are looking forward to implement based on this Bootstrap Banter episode? Well, so as you understood, we are planning to launch fast and fail smart. Well, why are we even failing when we are discussing certain smart fundas? Well, to note that any business case that you're planning to solve, some way or the other, it may fail. For example, it may not give you the right output, or you may not have approached it right strategically, but nevertheless, you have experimented something to learn your customer, to learn your use cases where they are failing and what you need to fine tune. And that's where this failing that comes, which is passively, but at the same time, there is a boost of learning that's happening on your customer end to boost your business. So, well, we are launching fast, we are validating in the marketplace, and we are figuring out what is the next thing that you should do to build your passion project and go from passionpreneur to serious startup scalers. So, that is the goal of today's episode. Equip the early stage founders, or the passionpreneurs with some actionable insights that I myself is looking forward to deep dive and constantly look forward for my next smart move that I should be taking. So that's where this no code, low code tools that, I absolutely embraced. And I'm going to explain you what are some of the important tools that you would right away take into the consideration to start with. Well, I must add a disclaimer text that this particular episode is not sponsored by any of the no code low code platforms. This is solely my research out of my own curiosity and out of my love to the tech that I am looking to implement something. And I thought of sharing all my research, all the data gatherings, and the type of next moves the Bootstrap banters could take it. So that's where I am putting down this particular episode for all of you. Nevertheless, if you're someone who has a no code low code platform already that you want Bootstrap Banter audience to experience or experiment with, and you have something to offer in the tech side platform, and you would like to know, well, the advertising spots are absolutely open. You know where to log in and contact me, passionatepulse.com. Go and contact me form, and you can fill up the information, or just go to the podcast and go to the sponsor section and fill up the form and let us know. We'll be happy to come back to you and see what can be done next. Whether your platform is a perfect fit for our Bootstrap Banter episodes, and that is something we'll like to share it with our own audience. So let's deep dive. How you can build your next MVPs, how you can go faster to the market, find out the reactions, and solve certain business cases within your industry, within your niche. So that is the advantage, as I absolutely said. Like the no code, low code platform, what do they give you is essentially cutting down a huge development cost. If you're writing something with a very full stack operation or with the proper engineering, you're going to reduce a lot of efforts of hiring multiple developers to build something solid that your business case needs to be solved. And do mind that whenever you're looking forward to solve any business case, towards the end it has to scale up, towards the end it has to progress, and it has to adapt as per the market needs. So if you're someone who has a potential business and that needs to be scaled up, that's where this particular function or no code low code can come in handy to scale up what you have existing. Of course, if you're looking forward to solve certain very basic infrastructure or certain different compute algorithms, no code low code platform is certainly not for you. And I don't have to deep dive and tell all the software engineers about it, that where exactly this is going to come in handy. But if you are someone looking forward to solve certain business cases and planning to use existing AIs, planning to use the tech platform to grow your business on top of it, we can deep dive further. Nevertheless, there are certain exceptional cases that I'm definitely deep diving that are doing a phenomenal work, although they are based out of no code, low code. So that is what we are planning to, look forward from this particular episode. So if you are willing to stay with me and let's deep dive further. So as I said, like, if you are someone who has a simple business and you don't know how you should build your web services or, websites, and you don't want to spend a hefty amount just to build website and then keep supporting certain pictures to, ongoingly ramp up your website, so there are definitely service-based startups can use different no-code, low-code platforms, and one of them is Webflow. Also, Gamma. That is one app, or that is one no-code, low-code platform that can help you build your websites pretty fast. If you're looking forward to build your e-commerce platform, if you're planning to sell something very eco-friendly, handmade, and a very unique that you're building, or you're someone who is producing different type of goods, definitely Shopify and Gumroad are the e-commerce platform you would want to check out. Again, the service-based startups that we're looking at, Tilda, Carrad, and Webflow, are some of the no-code, low-code platforms that you can definitely use for. The SaaS MVP, you're looking forward for, software as a service-based products, and you just want to try out what can be done. Oh, there are tons of softwares available. To name a few, Bubble is one of them. Glide, that's a wonderful app, I could say, and the Adalo. So those are some of the apps you could definitely take advantage of, building your SaaS-based next MVPs. If you are at a place where you're just at an ideation mode and you would like to check whether this is something that's going to work, we'll definitely deep dive to each individual platforms that, I'm listing it down, and we might want to see, what we could do further. If you are someone who is not very much into community based or the product hunt style based businesses, then Circle is one great product that you can leverage to. Mighty Networks is another style app that you can leverage to. And of course, for automation and integrations, I mean, who don't know this particular one? Zapier. Each one of us individually must be using 100 free apps every month, I'm very sure. I myself use all these products in a very efficient ways. Zapier is something that have, made my life very easy to automate a lot of the workflows behind the scenes that I have to operate. Make is another integration platform that is also you can use, which was formerly known as, I guess, Integromat or something. So let's define, how you can build your prototyping even before you decide which no code, low code platform is right for you to, have your mobile based app, to web based app, or, different sort of cases that you're looking forward to solve. Nevertheless, you should remember that there is a lot of complex problems also nowadays can be tackled with no code, low code platform base. I myself have been witnessing multiple startups coming with no code, low code platforms, and they are doing phenomenal job in terms of solving the right business case. And there is no harm taking that route as long as you know the type of infrastructure you are using is going to scale up as long as you are, growing in your business, and it is supporting the business niche ideas, and it is supporting the business need in terms of scaling up, in terms of computing enough, in terms of the performance, and in terms of reducing the latency time of responses to your customers. I think that's still a fair enough start to have it. So, well, you're someone who would like to, try out, that you want to build. How would you like to wireframe? How you like to, sort of ballpark on your flow chart, system design, how the pages should look, and etc. I think everybody knows Figma and Whimsical are a couple of tools that everybody can take it. Whimsical, to more or less, it is most for the system design point of view, or if you're looking forward to develop a great flow chart or something like that, which where probably is a case, I would say, driving to more on the techie side. But Figma is a one which is something can give you a head start of prototyping, and even the non-tech users could easily start with Figma and can build certain pages to get a feel of, what your web-based applications or your website or your app should be looking like. And Figma can be an easy way to start with. There are more, of course, but these are the two that I have experimented well, and that those are the ones that I like to mention it. So when you're working on a prototype, under a week or couple of weeks, you have a roadmap now, and then you like to, use something. Then what are the next things to do? So let's grab attention from there and see how you can build something in under the week's time or in couple of weeks, what you can do and how you can build certain things. Absolutely, building landing pages, pre-orders before your full development, and getting your beta users is what you should start as a very smart entrepreneur or a passionpreneur, or if you're looking forward to validate your business ideas. I have had tons of discussion about it before even you decide to go to the market. After the MVP is done or after the product is built, probably you're failing or you're not catching hold of a lot of corner cases, which is something is a make or break situation in your business. And that's where onboarding the beta users, creating an interest line, or creating the warm customer leads since the day one should be your priority and should be your way to look at your business. We are living in a world where there are tons of things accessible, including social media, the network at your fingertips with different type of apps on your phone. Maybe it's a Snapchat, maybe it's a WhatsApp, maybe it's something else, maybe a WeChat. You have tons of users available all across in your phone on your fingertips. There is no hiding or being in like kind of layered businesses when you can absolutely build your list where people can wait and anticipate what's coming through. So I think you should always go for this option as a smartpreneur and opt for that, validate, understand what your users are really looking forward to build. Nowadays, every week or so, I believe I'm filling out one or the other survey created by my friends, created by my ex podcast guest, or somebody from my network is approaching me saying that if you were to use this particular product, what were the pitfalls that you think are there existing in the existing marketplace products? If you have used any, you don't have to name them, but just tell me what are they and what are some good features or some of the benefits that you could get if I were to build a product for you. So, I mean, that's perfectly okay and natural if somebody is collecting that survey and building on top of it features. I I handsomely respond to those my friends, network, whoever is coming and asking me to fill out a simple survey which will take less than 2 minutes of time. Or they could be, simply somebody is catching me over the phone, scheduling the meetings for 15 minutes just to deep dive further if somebody is not willing to share a lot of details outside and just trying to understand their users based. I mean, of course, how to go forward for it, what are the ways to filter it out. We have deep dive in the long back, one of the product market fit episode. Go ahead and tune to Passionate Pulse podcast and find out that particular episode either through the passionatepulse.com website or Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, whichever podcast mediums you're tuning in, you should be able to grab that particular episode. If not, we will deep dive some more strategies of building your warm customer list in maybe future episodes. So that is how you should be doing it. And simply building the landing pages is not that difficult with Webflow, or there are various tools that are available. Even your email marketing tool nowadays is allowing you to create simple landing pages where you can create certain data where users are responding and you're beneath the end you're connecting the forms or form data. So that's where you should be starting. So let's deep dive and first understand what is the great success story of using the no code low code platform that somebody has achieved, what the company evaluation look like, what type of problem that they solve. Dividend Finance. I'm not sure if anybody has heard this particular company, but this was a company that was founded in 2013 and nearly evaluated to $300 million when it got merged or rather acquired by Fifth Third Bank in 2022. And that was the evaluation at the time of merge. So less than a decade journey we are talking about, and that business has created a phenomenal value. So Dividend Finance was basically a fintech startup that provided a point of sale financing for solar and home improvement projects. That's it. Their niche was providing the financing to the solar and home improvement type of a microfinancing company, you could say, for profit and giving it in a particular niche that the business problem that they need looking forward to solve. And I think that's a simple and a great proposition when you are solving any business problem. It always has to be one is to one, and as the small problem you are focusing on, the more scalable your solutions you'll be able to build up, because you exactly know your all customer personas, all their pain points, all the benefits that you should be giving it through your solution. And focusing on the small niche is what, becoming an expert or a master in your industrial whatever problem that you're solving to. Lot of things went right if I look at the Dividend Finance story. First of all, it was a fintech startup focused on just solar and home improvement. They did not deviated themselves by adding to different sort of home mortgage, or maybe it's a commercial loan, or maybe it's energy sector or nothing else. Just two problems to solve it, and that's where the financing came. On top of it, these homeowners to access this financing easily while helping the contractors offer seamless payment solution. There was a bridge that they built between the contractor who are providing the solutions, let's say it's a solar solution or other home improvement project solution. Those were the contractors at one end, and the other end was the actual consumer, whether it's a homeowner, whether it's a families, or whether it's an apartment complex owner. So then the persona could be very large in that model, but the fact is those are the two type of people they decided to bridge the gap with. Contractors always struggle with the payment solutions because they don't know how they can offer a microfinancing plan per se for their users. So such individual contractors or the partners can get onboarded to this particular company and they can provide the solutions to others. So the no code journey of dividend finance that we are looking to deep dive is the company needed a very robust yet flexible platform at the time when they were handling the loan processing and the customer applications and the partner management. So they could have gone with something that existed, which would have built them internally, or they could have built something from the scratch and then have struggled a lot in order to create a seamless integration, the fragmentation problems that happens or whatever. So instead they did a very inexpensive management. Instead of hiring expensive developers and doing a great engineering at it, they built the entire operational workflow using the Salesforce, absolutely a no code low code platform, and they automated. Basically it is not even a low code, I believe it's a completely no code platform. When the Salesforce management comes into the picture, they could have got maybe CRM and other things that needed to automate the customer onboarding, underwritings, and the loan approvals. So I think that was a very smartest move that they did. And on top of it, the website and the customer facing pages or the landing pages that they had built, they had used a Webflow, a complete no code website builder, and you can build a stellar website through it. Even Gamma is another service or the app through which you can build an absolute stellar service. And on top of it, they did all the great integrations, starting with Airtables to Zapiers, to build different data sources, to integrate, to automate the workflows. And I think that's the strength we are looking at when you are supposed to have a no code platform underneath and building on top of it something that you're looking forward to. The type of amount that you pay to these no code solutions, it is one fraction of what you could do if you were supposed to hire someone and get your entire process done. On top of it, the time that it cost you to build and the type of refinements that you have to do and get the feedback and ongoing activities that have to embed, I think the no code solutions or the low code platforms become much more efficient in that lines. So the biggest win of the dividend finance that we're looking out is it could scale rapidly using this no code workflows. It could solve the problem that they were planning to solve. It could onboard multiple partners and provided consumers a different sort of plans that they were looking forward to and bridge that financial affordability gap to this particular microfinance. So that is the bootstrap banter that they did. And less than a decade of time, it could get acquired by the wonderful bank who needed this, or who could offer more of a value to it. Well, having said one particular success story, I should definitely mention you that it is not in many cases, and you must be wondering which is one case study for the failure that somebody had used the no code startup and absolutely flunked. Well, Perry is one startup that started with the idea of using no code, low code underneath, and they wanted to solve similar to what the networking apps are doing, like what Facebook is doing, what Insta is doing, what LinkedIn is doing. Similar to that, but their niche was very smaller. The Perry was actually a community based social networking app, and it was designed to connect like minded professionals through interest based events. So, suppose I am someone who is, attending a lot of tech conferences, events, or maybe I'm someone who is attending lot of startup based events, then those are the attendees which I am bound to bump couple of times or more. But at the same time, I don't want to share my, let's say, a phone number, my personal details with them. But I still want to be binded with these particular professional minds. Then I could go over the Perry, network with them, discuss what's coming up next in the town, or share something that is needed, or have some different handshake particular to that particular zone, or which is interest based event grouping that would happen. And then if I'm someone who is like to go for multiple meetups or events that selling, let's say, a group discount, but I don't know in my own network who is willing to opt for it, then Peri would have been a great solution to opt into the groups or find out in the networks who is willing to trade what and things like that. So I think you get an idea what the business case they were solving. So they were initially built with Bubble, Zapier, and Airtable. Airtable being the data source management, Zapier being the integration and workflows management, and Bubble is to build what they are looking forward to entirely build as a SaaS based product. So that's where they had used that. And of course, it failed because, as in more as and when more and more users were joining, Bubble was absolutely struggling with its own performance because Bubble was inherently not built to do, or was not having the capacity to do something that Perry was trying to do. So that was probably a wrong choice of using that particular no code platform, and that could have led to this particular failure. The slower the responses happened, the frustration of the users gathered. It is a failure recipe nowadays, where we are living in a world of a very instantaneous accesses and performances. And of course, there were limitations in terms of customizations. The app required very deeper integrations and features which were very difficult to implement without moving to the custom code or doing a proper engineering full stack application development. So that was another reason why it failed. And the user drop off was the uttermost failure reason why such platforms could never sustain or retain its users. If you cannot retain the users in B2C platforms, then you are definitely not in a business. So that was a thing. And of course, how come the investors would be happy to invest in the startup that that the deep down they need a great engineering down the line. They needed to see the comfortable roadmap to scale up further. So the investments would fail again. So that was a lesson that from the previous case we could take. It works well in certain cases of building MVP. In certain cases, it can absolutely work well, like as I said, dividend finance, where a startup can succeed throughout its business life cycle, but the type of problems you're solving, you are supposed to take certain decisions on top of it. So let's deep dive and understand the biggest and the hottest news that's right now in the era. And we all are using this in very different industrial segments. The major reason why the particular platform that I'm talking about is become famous is all our money management, the finance and the stock related predictability has become more accessible to us. Although we are someone who is not a finance expert, is because of Perplexity AI. Let's call it that way. Perplexity AI actually started with a simple AI search engine, and it spanned to different industries and giving a wonderful, very concentrated data right now in different industry. Because of finance, it came into more of a limelight, I would say. But that's a great example to talk about, built on absolutely no code, low code platform. Although there were four founders, four of them are having an essential great tech platform backgrounds, yet they chose to build a platform where they were supposed to focus on only the business case that they were supposed to solve, versus building something which is underneath a deep AI/ML solutions that needed to compute, or a very computational based heavy system that needed to give what Perplexity is doing it. Irrespective, they chose to go with another route, and the success is what we are actually seeing it. In fact, a lot of the startups are consuming Perplexity AI's developer mode, and building their search engines, building or solving certain business cases that they are trying to solve through the AI. And they are looking forward to less hallucinated reports, very concise outputs. And that's where, and also LLMs, a great LLMs with low perplexity to give an efficient content. Let's deep down and understand what the Perplexity AI and what is the success looks like for it with the no code, low code. So, no code entrepreneurs and developers, first of all, can integrate AI driven search into their apps, into their web applications, without any of the complex coding that it needs to be done, right? And the businesses are leveraging to enhance their customer support, maybe a research automation, maybe internal knowledge base. There are use cases that I talk about where Perplexity is getting used by B2B. Underneath what it did, how it is being built, and how the modular approach of Perplexity, if I really have to break down, is modular AI components instead of full stack development is what Perplexity is standing tall upon. It is absolutely using an entire AI system from scratch, such as leveraging a pre-built models, the OpenAI's GPT, the Llama models, and LLMs, the other LLMs which are already trained, which are doing phenomenal job. and they stitch it together, or we could say that they integrated so well, and on top of it they did the low code API customizations, and of course great fine tuning that needed to give the accuracy, to give the retrieval much efficient versus what the Google search would have helped you appearing it to be, or Gemini or Chat GPT, the other AI engines could have given you the data, right? It built a wonderful application on top of what this core infrastructure has laid upon. On top of it, with certain customization, it is giving us a faster and pinpointed search. So the infrastructure for scalability that Perplexity is using is, of course, it's a cloud-based AI service. So it is standing on top of AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, depending on the industry and depending on the problems that you're looking forward to solve. And wherever it needed to be scaled internally for computing power, as and where the queries are increasing, it is leveraging all the cloud platforms. So it is having a great cross-functional cloud infrastructure that is working beneath for them and giving them phenomenal results. So there is no slowdown because of one or two, and it is, has done a wonderful integration, I would say, in on top of that infrastructure. And again, instead of coding the complex infrastructure where the serverless computing, where the core computing needed to be done, it is purely relying on the serverless computing and automating the deployment tools such as Terraform and Kubernetes, which are often used in the low code architecture. Another thing about the integration is, of course, it is using Zapier, Make, and Retool for automating their wonderful workflows without a deep engineering of rework that needed to be done. If they're fetching certain data from certain base information, or they are having multiple sources, then they are absolutely integrating them well, spanning it. I mean, of course, on top of it, there is a customization logic that sits, which is doing the serverless computing to extract data to give you less hallucinated data from these AI search capabilities. But we are looking at how it has avoided the need for in-house AI expertise, which needed to get done versus consuming simple open source APIs and building something on top of it. Another thing is the interfaces and the AI training refinement that any AI engine or any AI models that you are looking forward to build are inherently required is, as and when the data is coming in, you have to fine tune your models. The business models reshape every time because of the training, because of the type of customers are searching, or the different type of data sources that are building simultaneously in this whole digital world. So that is something, is an innate need of AI models that needs to grow, right? Accordingly, with the time, the type of data that is available, and a lot of refinements that needed to be done. So Perplexity, I think, took a little bit of a smarter step here by using this low code ML ops tools such as Weights. That's a wonderful tool, and a biases for auto ML platforms. A lot of things that needed to be automate behind to train the models, to find the monitoring, to provide a lot of updates. I think they have streamlined their jobs versus doing a core engineering on top of it, or even to own their own LLMs. So it's a little different paradigm that they took, but apparently it worked in the case the way they have probably customized it, or the way smartly they have used multiple platforms that could give them the best things and they partner with them. So weights and biases are the one platforms that, constantly help them automating and fine tuning their models further. Again, it enables teams to adjust AI responses and the relevant scores, which is needed a deep machine learning coding experience, or somebody had to sit down there to do more of an engineering work. So I think they kind of took a different shift here, and I think it was a phenomenal approach that it worked. So the way it worked, I would say the more of a success lies within the R&D of what they did, within finding out what the capacity is, what certain areas should be doing, and towards the end building that whole orchestra underneath, having the right products in their suite. I think that is the success formula of Perplexity looks like. And now that they are spanning different industries by curating certain models is a great example. Well, to build the interface, I must tell you, even Perplexity did use certain framework with the react.js, where probably they must have code, but less of a work where they had to build something. So chat flows and the knowledge graph, etc., that needed to be designed using low code to even give you the dashboard experience and everything. Webflow and the Bubble are the ones that they use for more of an iteration based model to curate things. And again, embedding AI power search into the different websites that can be done via Perplexity's APIs with the no code platforms. And for that, they are using OutSystems and Glides to make it more accessible for founders without even technical skills. So that's another reason why Perplexity could grow its business. And right now, we're looking at $1 billion evaluation businesses like Perplexity, which is standing on top of this no code, low code platform. Of course, the success factor lies in very different segment. First, the way it opened their customers, not just to B2C, but B2B, by using and helping Perplexity APIs to be consumed by other developer mode, by other businesses to use their AI powered search to give them a very curated and pinpointed search results and a very cited search results that people are looking forward to. So I think that capacity they acquired B2B and B2C customers also. And a lot of apps are which are built with the Perplexity AIs are also shining well. They are also making good businesses. So this is something to consider. If you are someone who is looking forward to solve certain problem and you needed this particular AI search, I think you can go ahead and consume Perplexity AIs, no code, low code, and then see what your apps or what your business cases you can solve in a better way. So I don't have to tell this enough, but then definitely it is going to reduce the development time, the accessible AI integrations for others. So all these takeaways that we're looking out, or the couple of case studies that we discuss, are gonna give you this particular idea. If you're someone in a business and you think your front door is not good, in the sense you don't have any app, mobile app, which is fine tuning or keeping your customers to your own app and giving them tons of this different data or different workshops or events or whatever that you're looking forward to deliver, so your app users can absolutely enhance all these what the business that you're looking forward. You're someone who needed to solve certain cases in your own industry and you don't have the tech expertise within you, you could always look forward for such no code, low code applications. On top of it, you could, find out what can be done. And that's where I'll deep dive certain tools that you can think about and, I'll reiterate their importance in terms of what you could do next with it. So as I said, the Glide, that's a no code, low code platform, and it can absolutely help you build your mobile apps directly from Google Sheets. And the way you could do it is like if you're someone who is, I mean, I'm just taking a different example because I wanted to pinpoint some non-tech example. So let's say if you're someone who is having yoga classes, or if you're someone who is having a Pilates classes, something in the fitness industry, I think having your own app will help you. So you could build that through Glide. And there are, of course, different integrations you might want to do if you're looking forward to deliver your video learn courses or live training courses or whatever that you're building to, we could go to that route. But Glide is simple example that I'm looking out. You can build your app in just 48 hours or so. Just by providing right data, it will have your app ready. The other example, which is built on Glide, that business is successful so far, is Zyro. It's a website builder actually. The way you're looking at Webflow or Gamma app, or those are like this. Zyro is one website builder that underneath have used Glide platform, by the way, to build a business, to create the custom websites very easily. So you could build your website in a day, you could build your mobile app in a day by using these platforms. So Glide actually, can functionally span to many different things for even developing your own CRM system. So these are like some of the examples that I just explained. The other one is the Bubble. I think we talk about it when the Perry's use case that was failing with it, but there are use cases that have been wonderfully done things. The Coins is financial app that has helped users to pay off the debt. So it automates the savings and payment part through this no code web app, which is built completely on Bubble. And it enables users to create the web applications, complete their workflows, databases, and different sort of integrations that we're looking out. So it can really create some complex data driven apps such as marketplaces that you can talk about, the social networks. That's where the Perry had used it. But because the type of demand, I think it was a good to have a problem, but they should have gone with the other route because they did not anticipated the good to have problem of having a tons of load on the user side. But it's kind of a productivity tools if you're looking to build or you're needing to code. I mean, not code so much, but still solve your business case. Those are some of the important aspects or the no code platforms you could offer. Bubble. Next one I would like mention is Parabola. It's a no code automation tool for creating workflows that handle complex data operations without even writing a code. So, Cleverly is one marketing agency that has used Parabola underneath to automate the processes of generating a customer leads from social media campaigns. So think about it. You're not using Salesforce or something, or you're not doing any different sort of things, but straight away with what exists with the Parabola, you're just building something on top of it and building simple one is to one use case that the social media leads coming out through your campaigns and generating it to your customer leads. That's it. And further, you could do a lot of integrations to make your automation successful, to keep your customers engaged and all. I mean, I think you get the flow. Webflow is, as I mentioned, it is building a responsive websites and the web applications. And Loom, the video messaging platform that we must have seen or observed, is partially built on top of Webflow. Partially. Half of them is maybe just a website or the landing pages that we're talking about, or the front door pages where dynamic content and the e-commerce features needed to be rendered. Probably those kind of responsive designs we're looking at that Loom had used. Retool, that's a low code platform designed for building internal tools. It allows users to create apps by dragging and dropping components and connecting to database and APIs. Using Retool, Carvana is an online used car marketplace, that use Retool to streamline the internal operations where the inventory management and the order processing needed to happen. I think that's a very smart example. Somebody is a car dealer, and let's say they get different used cars, they polish it, they make it well looked, and now they have to sell it. Think about it, having a digital front door and having certain type of skills like Carvana or web portals where online sale can be enabled. I mean, of course, then the operational management and all other different cases to solve. But the fact is, that is the business that they had never imagined. Any car dealer had never imagined to grow, 10x time, 20x time within the lifespan of what they were doing. And then it could be, solved to an extent where because of what they were building, they could even get the funding and they could even scale it up much higher. But whatever that was needed underneath to get a seamless integration, to build a trust, to, manage the payment and secure the data, a lot of things came in handy for them. Although the founders were not technical, things could still work in a way where the businesses were flourishing. OutSystems is another low code platform. If you're building a enterprise grade applications and it is providing you the functionality like an AI and integrations even for non-developers. So the best example for this is Schneider Electric, that use these out systems to create a fleet management application, allowing for efficient monitoring and optimizations for the logistic operations. I think fleet management is one very, very underlooked industry where not many platforms are stepping up. But if somebody is, trying to build business on top of it, or trying to solve that particular industry problem, I think using low code platform absolutely works because it doesn't need to be very much scaled in terms of what operational problems you're solving, but it is a lot of fragmentation issue through the integrations you're solving. So that's where they use these out systems. And I think just with the drag and drop features and the visual development, the integrations, AI, and the IoT tools that they were looking forward to have it to solve the case that they wanted it, they could very well do it. So those were like some of the examples that I mentioned. And I would like to mention a couple of more examples that those founders I'm talking to, I had a pleasure meeting them and pleasure hosting them in one of the conference. Both of them are again solving some phenomenal problems that the current industry is looking out. One is, solving the enterprise AI applications, that how somebody can, without writing any code, without having to understand the AI algorithms, LLMs, Llama, and different models and getting lost in the paradigm of learning. I think the Yavi.ai, that's one of my friend's company. Nimbus Next is his original company, and Yavi.ai is the no code, low code platform that he has built through Nimbus Next. His name is Swaraj Kulkarni. Is a dear friend of mine who actually have built the application which can help you generate your AI solutions, which can help you do wonderful data integration. It's a great replacement for middleware management of where there are different data sources are coming, and then you want to congruent something at the same time. You don't want to give out to your open APIs because you want to make sure that your sensitive information is preserved, it's being filtered, and on top of it your data models are created, and it is serving your users the way and shape and forms your data is being asked forward to. So that's a wonderful Yavi.ai is a platform that I'm talking about. And what is the core application problem that Yavi is solving is your great data source management, congruently summarizing your data in terms of let it come from the audio source or let it come from a document source or a video source. Any form and shape of the data it can take, and then it can even bite those 100 pages of 1000 PDFs and give you a summary of data within just say 10 to 15 lines or 200 lines. If you're someone who is sitting in the HR and having too much of documentation coming from different verticals, or if you are someone solving certain healthcare problems where there are different source of documentation for the patient's work, for the hospital work, or for the medication history, or whatever that you're spanning through, and you now want to congruent something and just attach and give the only relevant information that maybe a doctor is looking forward to, patient is looking forward to, or a medical provider is looking forward to, can definitely go for the Yavi.ai platform and can help solve your business case without doing much of an engineering that needs to be done underneath. So content creation is what the Yavi.ai can help you automate and generate your marketing materials, maybe reports, maybe enhance your productivity in terms of your chatbots needed to be trained based on what new information is coming in. So, if you're a law firm or you're a policy firm where there are tons of different federal policies are every now and then generating, there are laws that are shifting, there are complex documentation that your experts or your lawyers or your administrative staff has to go through, then the best way is like have those documents feed in and ask for the highlighted summary. And those are the documents that you can't feed to any open source or to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. The reason being is it does imply a lot of sensitive information underneath, and you simply can't have something which is very openly done. And now is the time for you. You need something very niche to yourself, filtered applications, I mean, filtered data that can, have very well compliant and serve to your offices, administrative offices, law offices, HR offices, healthcare offices, very, very different industrial applications that we are looking out where tons of data need to be spanned, congruent, presented, and also continuously feed your customers with an important information that they are supposed to get at the end of the whatever business that you are in. So that's where this particular, Yavi.ai can help you. Do mention my name, Pranali from Bootstrap Banter or the Passionate Pulse podcast have mention about this platform, and that's where you're going forward to and get some referral bonus from the Nimbus Next. And it's good in terms of if you're looking forward to build something with the customer engagement that should have your, let's say, your website should have a great customer engagement front door, and you're looking forward to do that with whatever industry that you are in. Very personalized caterings can happen. You can train your own models with different LLMs. There are different business applications. There are widgets that Yavi provides you. Different sort of data analysis can be done. And your large data sets can be broken down to a way that is understandable for your own staff as well as to your own customers. So there are tons of things that you could do it. Do take that advantage if you are someone who is planning to solve or planning to build some digital front doors in maybe real estate, in some commercial platforms, maybe it's healthcare, lawsuit, the HR, or there are multiple industries that I can think, even the content generation industry like myself. where I have a lot of podcasting done, and now I want to congruent all my podcast and curate something different on top of it, or make my website engage that way and feed a particular episode to my the user who is looking forward to find or search based on their preferences. I think for me also, Yavi.ai, I could definitely embed and give out something. Again, they have a good free trial as well, which per monthly basis you get certain usage for free. And with that also, I think you could do little improvement to what you are today. And going forward with different plans, of course, based on your needs, you could consume Yavi.ai. The other platform, which is another my friend's platform, her name is Yogita, and she also resides in Bay Area apparently. Her platform is known as InviGrid. And the best part about that platform I found is like lot of platforms that we talk about as a front door of no code are sitting on an application side to solve those problems. But this particular platform solves a lot of real-time infrastructure security problems and help you automate your workflow. So if your application is sitting somewhere and underneath you're using a cloud infrastructure or whatever, what it does is it provides you the infrastructure security without even having your network engineers or infrastructure security engineers or somebody who is very deep dive into all this nitty gritty of knowledge. You could still build your company on top of InviGrid using and leveraging their infrastructure tools without spanning, let's say, tens or hundreds of infrastructure engineers in your boat, and still scale up and do certain startups in the tech world that you are looking forward to, build. And I think that's a wonderful way to start lean. And that is the time you definitely need these solutions to come in handy. So, what it can do for you is it can help you with the security incident managements, say in terms of, tracking the incidences, creating some notifications, creating different documentations. Absolutely at no code interface, you could do that. Access control and risk management, you could do it in InviGrid. The threat intelligence integrations can happen and threat management can be done. So I think overall it, improvises your response time, efficiency, and it reduces a lot of complexity by eliminating the need of, specialized developments. So I think that is something is a lean way to look at these no code platforms. So InviGrid is the one that we talk about. And for both the platforms, Yavi.ai as well as InviGrid, do let them know that Pranali, Bootstrap Banter podcast host, has pointed out these two applications. If you are someone who's looking forward to deep dive, just look forward for what you could get as an incentive just because you have been referred from this. So those are the ones that I mentioned. So do let me know what you are looking forward to, build. What type of no code, low code that I just listed are you interested in working and scaling your business smart versus sitting in a corner because you don't have a tech experience, you don't know whom to go to build what, you don't know the budget that you have to shell out if you have to hire certain teams. But these are like some of the smarter ways that even a non-techie could use it. All you have to do is just sit together with those applications and try experimenting what you are looking forward to build. I'm sure after listening to this particular episode, no one is opting out for building a website to someone else, or no one is opting out to, build a mobile application just because they have certain businesses and certain things and just needed to have a mobile app. And there are tons of other things that I did explain. I hope this episode has given you a lot of information that you needed to hear today to scale smart in your own bootstrap banter and, make you a smart passionpreneur working with the right tech stacks, going and having an amazing digital footprints and providing all the integration and automation and notification to your customers without even having to think about how do I now monitor this pipeline, how do I go and communicate back? Have some auto responses set to the automations, have different integrations in place to, have certain workflows to bind your customers and get smarter every day by day with Bootstrap Banter. Do let me know in the comments how this episode has turned out to be. what you would like to hear next in your next Bootstrap Banter episode, and I'll be pumping up with all the information that you are just looking forward to hear out. If you like this episode, if you're hearing it on the podcast medium, give a thumbs up. If you are someone who is listening to the radio, do go to passionatepulse.com or write me simply on Pranali at passionatepulse.com about all your feedback. If you're looking forward to sponsor any of the Bootstrap Banter episodes, we are here. PassionatePulse.com is a site to go and log on and help me understand what you'd like to hear next, what you'd like to promote next. Thank you and bye bye. Are you ready to amplify your voice and grow your business or a personal brand? Imagine reaching thousands of listeners, sharing your passion and making an impact all through your very own podcast. Join our upcoming workshop, Podcasting 101, designed just for you. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just passionate about sharing your own story, we will equip you with all the tools that you need to start your podcasting journey. Don't miss out. Visit passionatepulse.com/workshops and do secure your spot today. That's passionatepulse.com/workshops. Let's make your voice heard.